please tell one story and stick with it. Don't be telling me one story and then telling the doctor the next story. It doesn't work like that. Your story has to be consistent. All right, don't tell me you have Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Keisha, and in today's video we're gonna talk a bit about pet peeve. But before we do that, I just want to let you know that my channel is all about fashion, beauty, lifestyle, nursing, and anything that I choose to put out there. So guys, if you're joining me, I don't know where you're from, let me know where you're watching me from. Feel free to let me know in the comment section where you're watching me from, and if it's the first time you're seeing my videos. However, if you haven't liked, comment, or even subscribed to my channel, please go right ahead by subscribing. Tap that notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to get the beeping. You will get that notification. All right, so as I said, in today's video I am gonna just talk about what is your pet peeve. In this case, I'm just gonna talk about some nursing pet peeves. So it has been a while I haven't put anything out there on my channel about nursing. So this video, I'm just gonna take that opportunity and I'm just gonna, for the nurses who are following me, I just wanna put that out there. And guess what? You can let me know in the comment section what is some of your pet peeve, whether it's in nursing or general. Let me know what are some of your pet peeve, because I know all of us have pet peeves. These are things that we as individual does not like. It gets us mad, but we still have to control ourselves. So without further ado, let me jump right into this video. Pet peeve number one. So you know, sometimes you have colleagues, your nursing colleagues, who always contact you when they have some medical question. They never remember you all the time, but as soon as they have some medical question, something about around medically that they want, you know, they don't want to find out about, or something they want to question about, then guess what? They're gonna hit you from nowhere. Come on, it's annoying. All right, another one. Sometimes the patient call bells are ringing, and sometimes you have the nurses sitting there and sometimes they're not answering the bell. And especially if it's not their patient, they're not answering the bell. Sometimes I always say, you don't know what is happening. So that's one of my pet peeves. And then sometimes you say, oh, look, the nurse for the patient going there. Come on, guys. That's another. It irks me so much because I would think it's a team. One of the things I hate is when nurses will mix their medication and then they're asking you to serve that medication. I don't know what you mix. It's not my responsibility. If you can't finish it, period, don't start it. So this one is gonna, a lot of you nurses can relate to this. You see this thing that I have in my hand? It's called a pen. When doctors come and they ask you, nurse, can I borrow your pen? And guess what? Sometimes you forget to take your pen after they're finished and they're gone with it. And sometimes you have to call them to say, doc, you forget to give me back my pen. Stop it. That's not good. I always know that carpenter come to work or go to work with their tools, but in this case, they love to take your pen. All right, we're moving along. Listen, I know a lot of you would agree with me for saying this. Why is it that we always have to cipher or try to understand what is on the prescription? Why it is that some of these handwritings are so illegible that we always have to try to bust our brains to find out what is on these prescriptions? But guess what? You know, we as good nurses, we so, like, I don't know if it's something that is built in our brains for us to figure out what are on those prescriptions, because guess what? By the time they're done with us, our eyesight will be gone. But yes, illegible handwriting on those prescription is one of my biggest pet peeve, period. Let me see again. Another of my pet peeve is when, listen, have you ever had patients come into the nurse's station to say, nurse, I'm in pain, and the nurse looking for the patient, or the nurse is looking for that nurse who is responsible for that specific patient? I mean, come on, the time you come to look, or the time you're taking to go and look for this particular nurse, why not just give the medication? I mean, mind you, don't get me wrong, you have the nurses who will find the time to go and give that patient their medication, even though it's not their patient. But listen, for the nurses who do these things, they need to stop it. If the patient is requesting pain medication, come on, go and give it. All right, that is one of my biggest pet peeve as well. And another of my pet peeve, why it is that when you're finished giving, let's say, a medication, the packet is empty, or even sometimes, you know, we do that the automatic thermometer, and it have the probes. Why is it that when it's empty, the packet is empty, why you don't replenish? Why put it back? I hate that. It's like when you go to do that the temperature, the packet is empty, there's no temperature probe cover. It's annoying because it's like the time you take to go and look for that, you could have already do your temperature. The packet for the medication, why put back an empty packet, or even put that empty packet on the nurses, on the in their medication area where we prepare our medication, in the prep room, on the counter? Come on, nurses. Yes, all of the nurses not bad, but yes, that is one of my pet peeve, and I'm certain some of the nurses can attest to that. Moving right along. Another pet peeve. Why? Just tell me, why do you knock on the patient door without even getting a response? You just barge in the patient room. Come on. If you knock, you wait for an answer because you don't know what's going on. You knock. One of my pet peeves, I'm dealing with my patient, the door knocks, and before I can say, hold on or come in, they're already inside. I just be real mad. I just be real fuming. But guess what? Just because we have the mask on at the moment, you can't see my facial expression. But that, I think you're supposed to knock and wait for a response before you actually come in to the patient's room. But guess what? It don't always work like that. I mean, sometimes if it's a doctor, the patient doctor, they would come into the room without even getting a response, which I understand. Moving into the next pet peeve is that you're into the room, you're speaking with the patient, maybe you're doing an admission, and before they can say excuse, they just start talking to the patient. To me, I feel like that's rude. Like, ask for an excuse. So guys, let me know which is your pet peeve. If you're a nurse or even in general, let me know. Let me know in the comment section which is your biggest pet peeve, because listen, some of these things literally gives me a headache. But guess what? I have to keep calm. I have to keep my composure, because you know, it is so annoying. As it said, a pet peeve is a personal dislike, you know. So let me know. So I think I would have touched on 10 of these pet peeves that really annoys me being a nurse. And as I said, I have a list, and I have a few more I can just drop in. Another of a pet peeve that really gets me fuming is when your coworker refuses to help you do something, and then in a few minutes they're asking, can you help me do this, or can you help me do that? Ma'am, I'm busy. All right, I'm busy. Listen, have you ever been in a situation as a nurse I'm talking to the nurses because this video is more on pet peeves of nurses for my pet peeve as a nurse. Okay, so I've been in situations where you have nurses who always feel that they are, no offense, but they feel as though they are a dictionary. They knows everything. Come on, sometimes you have to pat it down because sometimes the explanation is not always correct. All right, so sometimes don't always go through this feeling like you know it all. Calm down, calm down. We all went to nursing school. Calm down. Listen, I can go on and on because there are so much things. Listen, being a nurse for quite some time, there are so many things that really gets me mad. There are like some personal distaste, things that dislikes that I always grapple with, and it always happen. Sometimes I go to work and some of these things, just sometimes I have to like shake my head. But guys, another of these pet peeve is like when you're going to do, let's say you have a diabetic, you're going to do a blood sugar, and when you open that, the diabetic box where the lancelets and the cotton and the machine, the dye scan machine is there, and when you go there, listen, you have like use dye scan, the strips, and also the lancelets, which is a needle. Come on, you finish use them, throw them in the shops. Throw them in the shops. This annoys me because you're finished using it, throw them in the shops bin. There's a reason why you have a shops bin. Throw them in the shops bin. Listen, again, I tell you, it's so many I can mention, but I wouldn't go on and on. However, I'm gonna leave this last one with you. One of my other pet peeve, and I think this is the last one, is when the nurses or whoever go to the printer and they will change the usual color of the paper is white. They will put yellow paper or blue paper or whatever color paper. And for the life of me, I want to print a discharge, and I feel like it's so unprofessional to print a discharge letter on a colored paper. I learned the old school way. So if I'm printing, it's professional, I would use white paper. And when I print, I realize it's yellow or it's green. Come on, change back the color paper from the usual white. If you use yellow, blue, green, red, change it back to white. What is so hard? It's time consuming. So guys, let me know, what are your pet peeves? What are some of the things that you dislike, your personal dislikes? I mean, there are so many things that you probably dislike, but in this case, I'm just sharing a few of my personal dislikes or my pet peeve as a nurse. And let me know what you think about this video, and if you enjoy my video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to be notified. All right.